In this video, guys, I will teach you how to spot a con artist, how not to get waxed. So this video is not going to be about any person in particular. I didn't have any conflict. I didn't expose anyone. I don't want to. I hate exposing people, but I also hate con artists and scams, and I'm sick and tired of hearing the same story all over again from different contractors. Whether you're a contractor or homeowner, I want you to know that there is a pattern how to spot the con artist in con artist behavior, something that I spent quite some time meditating on. I've been cheated many times. I have one story to tell you today. I have one sales rep who I have few judgment against. He stole $46,000 to $50,000 from his own church. I'll show you that story, judgment, so it's not just accusation. It's actually happened 2-3 years ago. For a couple of years I was silent about it, but I see the same stories keep repeating in our industry, and more business owners getting screwed by sales guys. There's sales guys being screwed by business owners, homeowners getting screwed by contractors. I mean, my first point is, when it comes to stealing money and thieves and all of that stuff, it's not about color, it's not about race. As a matter of fact, the people who stole the most from me, they always been the most religious, they're always been people who you would never ever think of doing such things, right? So let's talk about how to spot a con artist. I see guys getting scammed now by third-party, advertisers, marketers. In the roofing industry is, supplement companies who middle people between companies and insurance companies, roofing companies and insurance companies, representing them on the supplement end. So here's kind of 5 descriptions, 5 bullets, 5 things that I see almost every con artist have. Check for those 5 characteristics and ask yourself if you have a con artist in front of you, because I don't want you to get waxed. So number one, what they usually have is they're sweet talkers. They promise you a lot. They know how to talk. They know how to sell. Most con artists are really good at sales. They probably suck at something else. A lot of times it could be paperwork. A lot of times it's little details, but they're really good at sales. Like the person I'm talking about, his name is Steve Odenthal. I didn't want to mention it first, and then, you know what, it's public record. I have 2 judgments against him. He owes me thousands of dollars for 2 years. I can't get it. And there's so many people like him going out there and keep stealing money from hardworking guys. So, I can't, keep it to myself anymore. I want to expose guys. So if you have amazing story about someone who took advantage of people, especially if it's a group of people, make sure you bring it to our attention. If it's bad enough, if he's like Joshua Waxman who stole from hundreds of people, then we'll expose them on our channel. One of the reasons this shirt actually exists, our best-selling shirt, is because one guy named Joshua Waxman went and stole from 150 people, and I'll mention how he fits all of these 5 characteristics. So, but number one, they know how to talk, they know how to sell, they know how to promise, most of the time over-promise. Second one, guys, is they usually talk about them and their character. They're preachers, they're overachievers, they're smartest guys. So when they talk to you, they don't talk about value they bring. They like Joshua Waxman, for example, he would always talk about his sales history, how he sold for all the companies, never been fired in his life. It's all about me. I'm so good. I'm so smart. I started so many companies. 2 years ago, we exposed a guy named Shane Lee. Same thing. I've been in this industry for 20 years. I'm so good. I'm so honest, right? So they always talk about them and about how good they are. Like the guy who stole from me, Steve Odenthal, he stole from his own church. A lot of money. I think $47,000. I'll put a link below so you can read the full story, how he did it. He actually used my company to cash $30,000 check. That guy was doing some crazy stuff, and he was preacher. He was the only guy in the company who was preaching to other guys, how to live, how we should not be working Saturdays, and all of that stuff. And then, like I said, we would never expect it. As a matter of fact, today we have a company photo session from 2 years ago, and he was there, and there's like 30-40 people who have arm wrestling tournament here in Storm Group Roofing, my roofing business, and I show people pictures, photo session. There's like 30 guys or so, and I say, can you spot who do you think is a scammer here? Who have now felony on him? And nobody guessed the guy. He was nice. If you look at his picture, you would never guess. So what I'm telling you is this: they will tell you how good of the people they are, how much they achieved in the past, about their religion, about their ethics and stuff like that. And usually those are the people to watch out for. Because people with a good ethics, with a really good faith, they don't even talk about it. They will have their work and stuff talk for them. So second one, fourth, is lack of inconsistent job history. Third one is inconsistent job history. Most of the con artists, they pretty much go from job to job, scam as many people as possible, never can hold a position for numerous years. Usually it's 6 months here, 8 months there, 1 year there. A lot of times it's startup companies. A lot of times I've been in business for, like Shane Lee was in business for 20 years. That's what he was claiming. But at the end of the day, he started and bankrupt 5 or 6 companies, and you have to ask yourself, okay, you've been in business for 20 years. Why you don't have a brand? Why don't you have a company that have a legacy today? Why you keep closing company and opening companies? As a matter of fact, with the Shane Lee from 2 years ago, we tried it ourselves. So he scammed about 70 contractors. Average ticket was $1,500 to $2,500. After he closed that company, he opened another one already. But so many reports were coming to us 2 years ago. We didn't believe some reports. We're like, okay, we're gonna try it ourselves. We start investigation with the Shane Lee, call him up, say, well, so many people saying you stealing money. And of course he denied everything. So I personally gave him $2,000 just to make sure he delivers. Sure enough, I got scammed during the investigation of a scammer. So those people absolutely delusional. He closed his business. He ran away with my money too, and now he closed that company, started another company just to prove that con artists, those people, they don't have consistency. They will go open a company today. I will not be surprised if Joshua Waxman will open another business after he completely ruins this one to the ground. And I'm pretty sure Steve Odenthal, the guy who stole from me thousands of dollars, he probably works for more people now too. That's what they do. They don't stay at one place. And fourth, kind of very obvious characteristic is lack of references. For those of you who don't know, I did interview Joshua Waxman, and I asked him a few questions. And one of the questions I always ask con artists is, can you provide references? So he claimed during the interview 150 clients. So imagine this: if you are a roofing contractor, you have 150 clients, how many of them would recommend you if you would call them, or would let you use them as a reference? Probably a lot, maybe 100. Probably not everyone, but a lot. Well, Joshua Waxman could not name even 3. So con artists, they have hard time giving you references or success stories. It's pretty much always Ponzi scheme. You go from one to another, keep ripping people off, keep burning bridges, keep making new promises until you reach that end and you can't do it anymore. Now you have to close business, start over. That's what they do. They're suckers, they're vampires, or I have problem with the V's and W's, I never can pronounce it. So they are suckers and vampires. That's what they do. So if they don't have any references, ask yourself why, right? And number 5, the last one, is they always have drama stories. That's a big one for me because a lot of times, especially in the roofing business, you see sales guys coming to you and they tell you how awesome they are. They tell you about all the sales they've done in the past. And then, you realize that this guy is probably pitching you, and he pitched 5 other companies, and he has 6 companies he worked for in the last 3 years. When you start digging into what happened, there's always drama story. He always been short and somebody always steal from him and so on. You get the idea. So if you hear a lot of drama stories, like in the marketing world, those guys usually will complain about contractors. Well, contractors don't understand our leads. Like if it's Home Advisor, it'll be like, contractors are stupid. They just don't know how the system works. If it's a web guys, they're like, well, they didn't do what we asked them. We were charging them $1,000 a month, but they did not give us pictures or whatever. It's always someone's fault with a con artist. And they're never gonna say, well, I didn't deliver the value and I charged the money. No. I charged the money, but it's their fault, or I didn't get paid or whatever. So there's always drama story with a con artist. So guys, if you see anyone with all of those 5, the chances are you have a con artist in front of you very, very high. If you have a sweet talker, inconsistent job history, who always talks about him and his ethics, always over promising you and don't have references, you have a con artist. Run for your life. Don't give him money. Don't take a chance. Good company, good business will grow their brand by referrals. Like for example, in our space, I mean, who do I have? I have guys like Rodney Webb. You know, doesn't even advertise anywhere. People talk about him, charges tens of thousands of dollars for his stuff. Everybody loves him. You cannot not love Rodney Webb because product works, everything works. So the point is, if you have good product, you don't have to sell yourself really well. I hate to sell myself. I hate to sell roofing-school.com. You know, we tried to film today just the ending card for my own video, and it took me like 10 cuts. I don't know how people do it. Like, I want to educate you. I want to tell you what I do. Like, I'm a marketer. I'm a branding guy. I want to brand ourselves. I want to be in front of you when you need me, but I don't think I'm a sweet talker. I don't want this video to be about me, but I just want you to see the difference. There's guys like me who you don't see every day trying to pitch you, and you buy from us. And there's guys who after you every single day, until you buy, and then you buy, they take your money, run away, and then you call guys like me, asking me, Dmitry, what do I do with this guy? I gave him $3,000. Well, I'm asking you, why did you give him $3,000? So homeowners, please be careful who you hire. If you have a contractor like that in front of you, contractors can scam you too. Like I see it all the time. No references, no business. I'm sorry. Sweet talkers, be careful. If they talk too much about them and about their achievements, please be careful and listen what's behind the lines. Inconsistent job history, if they tell you they've been in business for 20 years, but their LLC says 6 months, be careful. So those 5 principles applies to everyone. It applies to sales guys too. And when we're sales guys looking for companies to work for, ask the same questions I'm asking you now, ask it to a business owner. So if you're a sales rep, you also can get screwed. A lot of business owners do the same thing. Always have a drama about their sales guys, and that's one of the reasons I didn't want to bring Stephen Odenthal's story. Here's the story. The guy was a board member of his church here in Minneapolis, Minnetonka, and he pretty much came to us to do the job, but he ended up being general contractor in the job while being sales rep for our company. So he cashed $30,000 for us. He also have done something very shady. I've never understood why. During the summertime, he was depositing checks in the QuickBooks, but not in the bank. So instead of getting paid on the job, he would record the payment, like $5,000, never receive a payment, so he can get collections and commissions, and then later, pretty much we would never get paid because the job was already recorded as paid. I found out about 6 months later. That's how shady the person was. He also sold some jobs that never should be sold. We returned the money. Long story short, I have a couple judgments against that guy. So his church also pressed charges against him. I testify in court, and he got what he deserved, felony and all 9 yards. And to this day, I have judgments and stuff. So be careful with guys like that. They're usually the nicest looking guys. Don't let appearance to trick you into who is in front of you. Listen to what they say, analyze behavior, and don't get waxed. That's my message for you. That's my message for you today. Just wanted to let it off my chest. I know it will help some guys in the industry. Be very careful. My heart is with you, and if you did get scammed in the past, maybe it's a huge lump sum of money, maybe you need help to somehow get it back, let me know. Just a couple days ago, I have a neighbor coming to me. He also have a roofing business, and his sales rep just cashed $25,000 check. So it happens everywhere. We all deal with it. We just have to be careful when we interview those people before it's too late. Don't even give them any business. Don't even give them opportunity. This is the reason I made this video. Be careful. Don't get waxed. I will see you guys in the next video.